everybody. Like the video, hit those hearts, share the broadcast. Please, welcome y'all, welcome. We back. Season 2. I'm a boss.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Shara. You can follow me on Facebook at Religious Creations. Also at #AskShara. Thursdays, if you want to be on the show, be on the show.
What's going on? What's up, Lorraine? Y'all excuse my voice. I have some tea with me. I'm a little under the weather, but nothing was gonna stop me from our season 2 premiere. So welcome, Lorraine, Taylor. I see you. Jean, what's going on? Leanna, hey. Tristan, welcome. Anna, hey. What's up, y'all? Tatiana, welcome. Welcome to everyone, all of our season viewers and those that may be new this season. My name is Shara, and this is Ask to Shara Thursdays. This is a show where we not only provide education and we talk about real stuff, but we also provide entertainment. So I hope that you enjoy the music. I hope that you able to like rock with us tonight. We're gonna have some real dialogue. Tonight's topic is singleness, relationships, and marriage. And so throughout the broadcast, if you have any questions, feel free to post them under the thread. I'll see them and we'll ask our guests live as they come in. They'll come in a little bit later. I have Dr. Jameson, Mercier, and his wife that will be gracing the stage with us. And so I'm very excited for tonight. Just quick disclaimer, this is an open forum, so I ask that everybody respects each other's comments. I respect you, you respect me, and I pray that you would, and I hope that you will respect my viewers as well. So no derogatory language to each other, no calling each other out, or if you don't agree with something, it's better to be quiet than to attack, right? And so I hope you have fun. And I have this special thing that I want to do. So if you guys are aware, Hurricane Harvey just hit Houston and surrounding areas in Texas, and it's a very unfortunate situation that they're in. But what I love about it, that what I've seen is that the people are like, a lot of the people, their spirits are not broken. They still have joy. They're still able to find laughter, and they're coming together as a community. And so right now we're going to go into a special tribute for them. And so sit tight, listen up, share the broadcast as we do the tribute. Hit those hearts if you're feeling what I'm saying, and stay tuned. All right, DJ Sid. Hey, Andre. Hey, Terilyn. What's going on, David?
Brother, See, war is not the answer, for only love can complicate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love and here today. Picket lines and picket signs, don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, and what's going on, what's going on.
They bigging up the DJ on it. Hey.
Immediately intrigued by it's almost like I knew this man from another life. Like back then, maybe I was his husband, maybe he was my wife. And here the things I don't like about him are fine with me, 'cause it's not hard for me to understand him, 'cause he's so much like me. And it's truly my pleasure to share his company, and I know that it's God's gift to breathe the air he breathes. Makes me feel, and if I am a reflection of him, then I must be fly, because the light that shines so bright, I would lie. Can the same man that makes me so mad turn right around and kiss me so soft? Makes me feel, and if I am a reflection of him, then I must be fly, because the light that shines so bright.
To make those rainbows in my mind when I think of you.
All right, guys, if you're liking the mix, hit those hearts, share the broadcast. We just wanted to do a little something for all of those that are affected by Hurricane Harvey. Here at Charlotte Thursdays, we support you. We send love and positive energy your way. As most of you guys have seen, I already shouted him out, the DJ. So this is DJ Sid on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow him to talk a little bit about who he is, and he's going to do a special mix. So if you guys need a DJ, he's also a musician. He plays the saxophone and the keyboard. And so if you need a musician or a DJ, hit him up. This is DJ Sid. So y'all hit those hearts for him. Hey.
What's up, family? It's your boy DJ Sid on the ones and twos tonight. So glad to be here rocking with Shara on Ask Shara Thursdays.
Hey.
You can find me on Instagram at Shine in the Dark. That's DJ Sid. Shine in the Dark, the same way that it's spelled. Shout out to the fam. I jumped on live real quick. I seen some of you guys out there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting. Really appreciate it. Again, I'm available for any kind of event, birthdays, parties, divorce parties, whatever it is. Wow. We in there. We go get it done, and we're gonna make it hot. It's gonna pop. So I'm ready to rock tonight. Gonna give you some great tunes, a little bit of old school hip hop, R&B, and of course, you know, I'm coming from Jamaica, right? I'm not born there, but big up all my island people then as well. Yes. We're gonna get to the islands as well. We're gonna get it done. We in the mix. It's your boy Sid. Let's go.
Grown ups in between.
churning babies. Right about now, it's your boy, you heard, back again. DJ Manny, fresh, fresh. Yeah, fresh, fresh. Fresh, fresh. Grown-ups, in between, churning babies. Right about now, it's your boy, you heard, back again. DJ Manny, fresh. Yeah, fresh, fresh. Fresh, fresh. Step up to the mic, dude, and do what you do.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you have here is brought to you courtesy of the young man, Young Carter, and the great man, Manny Fresh. So what I want y'all out there to do for me is say this, say talk to DJ, that's my DJ. Say talk to DJ, that's my DJ. Say talk to DJ, that's my DJ. Say talk to DJ,
Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Wake up every morning, by the night I count stacks. Knew that it was real when I hit it, bounce back. You ain't did shit. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounce back. Boy, I be broke as hell, cash the check and bounce back. D-Town LAX, every week I bounce back. Well, if you a real one, then you know how to bounce back. No.
in New York, I'm in New York. I did in my socks, running from a and under that and I'm on the block. And I'm on the block. In New York, I'm in New York. I did in my socks. Said it every rock. What? In New York, I'm in New York. I did in my socks. Use this every rock. Running from the car. Daddy bounce.
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come up here?
Daddy out. Cause I run it block. Give me top. When I drop top, I didn't hook on flop. When I drop, I didn't hook on flop. When I drop, I didn't hook on flop.
See the Chevy with the butterfly door. Stuntin' is a habit. Beat like me. Hey, yo, see the Chevy with the beat like me. Hey, yo, see the Chevy with the beat like me. Hey, yo, see the Chevy with the butterfly door. Stuntin' is a habit. Put it in the air. Stuntin' is a habit. Put it in the air. Stuntin' is a habit. Put it in the air. Hey, yo, see the Chevy with the butterfly door. Stuntin' is a
Dog inside.
hit ya. Just keep it white and black as if I'm your sister. I'm too hip to hop around, time to hit lit ya. I know I get wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow thoughts. Wow, wow, wow. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts. Wow, wow, wow. When I'm with you, all I get is wild thoughts.
Extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, a Fendi bag and a bad attitude. That's all I need to get me in a good mood. She can walk with a switch and talk with street slang. I love it when a woman ain't scared to do a thing. Standing at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop. Once she gets pumping, it's hard to make the hottie stop. She likes to dance to the rap jam. Too sweet as brown sugar with the candy yams. Honey coated complexion, using Cabernet. Let's see it for the girls from around the way.
Girl, I must warn you, I sense something strange in my mind. Yo, situation is, let's kill it 'cause we're running out of time. It's all so beautiful. Relationships, they seem from the start. It's all so
That girl
All right, y'all. Hey, did y'all like the mix? How y'all feel about the live DJ? How y'all feel? Let me see those hearts, them likes. Was it a good look? Was it bad? Did he suck? Was he playing too much old music? Y'all talk back to me. What's going on out there?
Yeah.
Okay, I see some likes. Okay, I see some flames. That means that's good.
Oh,
All right.
facts.
All right, guys. Again, I hope you feel welcome. This is season 2 premiere. We on our second season, y'all, of Ask to Shara Thursdays. My name is Shara, and I am the host and the producer of the show. What you were just listening to is some tunes by DJ Sid. He gave his information earlier. He'll be back on later on when we have our intermission. And so sit tight. We're going to get to our guests. The dynamic couple that's going to be on tonight to ask questions and answer questions and just give feedback on our topic. Tonight's topic is singleness, dating, and relationships, meaning that all of us, no matter what level of the spectrum you're on, excuse me, all of us can relate. And so I'm going to invite the Merciers on, and so you guys just hit the hearts and as we get them on. Sid, can you just play some music? We're having some technical difficulties. Alright. Y'all listen to Sid for a little bit while we get Dr. Jameson.
Caught up on a situation. I'm under pressure, babe. I'm gonna touch your body. Baby, I'll come give you a night. Can't be wrong when we're doing it right.
Ooh, put me under pressure, babe. I want you to touch my body. I want you to come give me a night. Can't be wrong when we're doing it right. I keep calling your name, baby. I'm looking for you. You know that I need you, boy. Well, I ain't mad at you, 'cause I be creeping too.
Girl, you know I can be the man to love you right. But you ain't feeling me the way she feeling me, oh girl.
All I wanna show is my affection. Lose myself inside her ebony. She ain't even checking me. Oh, yeah, cool, baby. A little something, something with you, oh, baby. Running through the shadows.
Technical difficulties over.
Hey, man, it's always something.
Yes.
I hear you.
Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you guys.
Glad to be here. How we coming through?
You guys are a little low. If we can get a little bit more volume.
Okay.
Does that help?
A little bit. Yep. We're good to go.
There we go.
All right. Well, hey everybody. Thank you for sticking it out with us. I hope you enjoyed the tunes. I'm gonna let our guests introduce themselves, and then we'll get right into the topic. The floor is to you guys.
Sure. Hey everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the invitation. I'm Dr. Jameson Mercier. This is my beautiful wife, Herdyne.
Hi.
And glad to be guests on your show, season 2.
Hey,
Congrats.
thank
That's what's
you.
up.
And it's an honor that we're on your premiere.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so if you want to give just a little bit about your history, what you guys both do professionally, and how long you've been married.
Is this me again?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're both social workers. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and doctor of family therapy. My wife and I have been married for 10 years.
Yes.
Together
For 14.
for 14 years. Together we co-own Mercier Wellness and Consulting, where we see couples, families, individuals for counseling, and basically working on relationships.
Okay. What made you guys decide to help people in regards to relationships? Like, was it something in your personal life that you saw, or your circle of friends? Like, why relationships?
I think for the most part, we're big on, I am for the most part, and Jay is also, we're big on love, relationships, because I think love and relationships help make our community stronger. So if you have the love in your home, then that will trickle down to the kids, and then the community as well will be stronger. So we're really big on that as far as love, and then thinking about the community aspect of it and what it brings.
Yeah, we're all in one relationship or another.
Uh-huh.
And that is honestly where a lot of our issues begin and end. So, why not work to fix those relationships?
Facts. So I have a question for you guys. So in today's society, it seems like being single is socially frowned upon. It's like, it's not cool to be single. What would you say are some benefits of being single?
Oh my God, there's a lot of benefits of being single. I think we need to change the stereotype of singleness is this moment in time where you're doomed. You're by yourself and you're doomed. It's really a wonderful time for you to enhance who you are and who God created you to be. So I really think in your singleness, that is a lot of times where you do, who am I? What is my purpose? What is the plan? And I really do think that singleness is this time where it's really not a time of where you're doomed. It's a time where you can really find out who you are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd have to totally agree. Singleness, we were just talking about this the other day, actually.
Yeah.
There are many benefits to being single, but we don't really stop to think about them because everyone's trying to be hooked up with somebody.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
too busy trying to get hooked up.
Yeah.
That you don't notice the blessing of it.
Right. It's there are married people who would die to be single again. You know what I
Facts.
mean? So for all you single people out there, just really pause, the small things in being single, let's not overlook them. When you leave your house or you leave your sandwich in the fridge, when you come back, it's still gonna be there. Okay? You don't gotta check in with nobody about where you're going or where you're coming back. If you have a business decision you need to make, it's on you. You don't have to make sure somebody else is going to co-sign. If you want to get up and move to Atlanta or New York or Chicago, you pack up your Corolla and you just go. Or your Civic or whatever. You're not constantly thinking about someone else. And that is a big shock for couples when they begin to realize that, oh, wait a minute, now I have to actually consider this person every day.
Yes.
every moment.
Every decision.
Every decision is not a decision you make by yourself,
No.
but you got to make sure this other person is okay with that decision. I don't know about y'all.
Constant communications about how do we make decisions that will work for the both of us.
You know, you may want
Versus when you're single, you're kind of making your decision. I mean, if you believe in a Heavenly Father, you're going to be like, okay, God, let's make this decision. Let me be your co-pilot. But literally, when you get in a relationship, it's God and then your co-pilot, the spouse, that you always have to checking in with. What do you think? How do we do? Where do we go next? What's our next move? Is this going to be a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 3-month plan? What is it? Versus being by yourself and kind of just you and God.
Yeah. I mean, think about it, guys.
Yeah,
Just
we
a
have
gift.
some comments. Yeah, they said that there's no obligation. It allows one to find themselves.
Yes.
So you mentioned like one of the benefits of being single is being able to just move as you will. You know, if you feel like going right, you can go right. You don't have to worry about something or someone attached to your hip. What would you say to those individuals out there that are in relationships? They're not married yet, but they're looking to pursue marriage and they still have a single mindset. What would you say?
It's hard to pursue marriage, but and have a single mindset, right? Because then you're physically married, but then emotionally, intellectually, in any kind of way, you're still a single person. That's just asking for trouble.
It's either you one or the other.
Right. If you're in a relationship and you're thinking you're gonna be married, but then you're not quite ready to change that mindset, just keep dating. Just date. There's nothing wrong with dating, guys. Not everybody who dates need to be married.
Right.
And I think single people, young people in particular, think that I have to be married if we're dating. That's not the case, guys. You can date and just without any obligations. Because once you make that decision, other decisions must follow, or else it's just not going to work.
I agree. And that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to put specifically singleness, dating, and marriage, because I think so many times we hear about one or the other side. We hear singleness and we hear marriage, but we don't really often hear about the dating phase. So talk a little bit about what that means for you guys, and how you would encourage people in that phase of life.
As far as dating?
The dating phase, yeah.
You know, the dating phase, I think it's fun. And I know I said singleness is fun, and now I'm saying dating is fun. But they all have their special moment. They all have their special time. And for me, dating was fun because I was playing detective in the sense of, is he really compatible for me? I was asking all the questions. I wasn't being the yes girl. I was saying no and seeing what was he going to think. I was saying yes when I really meant yes. I think sometimes when we get into dating, you become the yes girl, but you really don't mean yes. And then when you cross that or you jump the broom, he's like, but what happened to your thoughts?
I mean, to be fair, there are yes girl, yes men too.
Yes.
Just people say yes when really they don't mean yes. They'll just say whatever it takes to get wherever they want to go or get whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know?
But the dating phase is really your time to see, is this person, are you going to love the good and the bad of them? And I think people don't think about that. They just look at the good. But do you really love the good and the bad of that person unconditionally?
Yeah.
Are you willing to put up with it if you decide to jump the broom the rest of your life?
Okay. So you guys have been together for 14 years, correct?
Yep.
So I'm sure dating has changed a little bit from when you guys were dating, but like how do you date? Like how do you find people? How do you find somebody that you might be interested in? Like how do you date? Some people don't understand or they don't know where to start. So what would your advice be? How do you date?
You know, it's changed. It literally has changed. I've had a conversation with the coworker today, and they were telling me something about Boomer, or there's an app. Like dating, when we started, there was no app. I mean, I don't know. I really can't it's changed so much. Like I'm listening to my coworkers tell us how they date now, and I'm like, wow, I really have been out of the game. Like I don't know.
Yeah. And you know, to add to that, I'm glad that I'm not in the game right now because
It's hard.
Yeah. I do. I have a soft spot for single people because I recognize that. But at the same time, while it's difficult, so much more is available to people now because of technology. We just kind of have to not lose ourselves in all this technology. We have to, yes, we can use Facebook and Tinder and whatever else we use, Instagram, but let's understand that this is all social media. This is not the person. This is their representative. This is how they are on their best day.
Right.
You don't know them. You know what they want you to know. If all you use is social media
To judge it.
Right.
I mean, go back to what dating you sitting down at the table with your phones away. You would like that. Your phone's away, and you're having a genuine, honest conversation with an individual, and at some point being vulnerable, because you want that person to get to know you, and you want to get to know that person.
Yeah, dating. You know, it's just date. Just have fun. How do you meet people? Think of the person you would like to meet. Where do they hang out? You know, you're not gonna find. There are some. Let me say that there are some places where you will not find the person you're hoping to find, if I can put it like that. You know, if you want a brother or sister who reads, you're better off going to the library instead of the club.
Right.
You know? Don't complain that she don't read when you didn't find her with a book in her hand.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You know, we just kind of use some common sense, but think about who you want and then be strategic. I guess is one thing I can say.
Okay, we have some testimony. Somebody said that the dating apps and sites are real. Okay. Okay. And another person says that there's not a lot of organic relationships these days because there's computer love. Yeah. So, you know, our generation, we have this and that's one of the questions I'm going to ask you guys later in this game that I want to play. But there's this hashtag relationship goals that we believe, you know, we see this couple on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and we want that, and we don't know the hell that they go through. We don't know, you know, what trying times they went through before that picture was taken, or if that's even a real picture or an old picture or whatever the case is. So I do believe that there's computer love out there. It's it's so crazy growing up. Y'all lucky that y'all met when y'all did. It's just a crazy
I mean, I truly felt that way because, you know, I was like, wow, you know, I'm not that old. I'll be 30. What year is this? 2017? I'll be 37 in November. Okay. And I felt like I was old when they're like, no, this is how we date now. You got to like the picture. I'm like, what? So I was just very grateful. And now it's coming up again. I don't know how I would date.
I think there's some good advice that you guys said that I want to capitalize on. You said if you meet someone or you're interested in someone, lose the phone. We are so bad with that. We want to Snapchat every moment and Instagram it. Just be in the moment, because if you miss the good stuff when you're focused on trying to stunt for social media.
Right.
What Mashonda says, just be in the moment with a person that has actually become very difficult to encounter. I agree. And I'm a fan of this show called Insecure, and they target that topic where it's everybody's glued to their phone, even if you're on a date with somebody that you're really interested in, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. We're so glued to our phone. So I think that's something that we just have to really stretch away from as a culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you know, looking at those stories and those personas of what a real relationship looks at are on our phone. And you're trying to have one right now with someone, and you really can't because you're not 100% there. Right. So I will agree, stay away from the phones.
Gotcha. What would be, so I know social media wasn't as big as it is now back when you guys were dating. So what would be some of the things that helped you guys, some tools that you guys used when you were dating?
Keeping it real.
Yeah, well, it's not exactly a tool.
No, tool.
He's
She
like,
said
not too real.
tool.
Tools.
I didn't hear
Well,
you.
that too,
I
keeping
didn't.
it real is a tool.
It was like in our relationship, that was what we used.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay.
that's-
Well,
Are you thinking about technology tool?
no.
Oh,
Okay, I
no.
guess I misunderstood.
No.
I misunderstood.
No, I like.
we
Let's stay
did.
with the keeping it real. I like that.
Yeah.
We did. Even to the point.
Mhm.
Are we gonna go there?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Okay, well, just follow me. Just
Okay.
follow me. Right. So we were dating for a couple months before we went away to college together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then when we went away to college, we went from junior college to a major university.
Mm-hmm.
And once we got there, now there's a lot more people, a lot more.
Oh, you have the green light. I know where you're going.
Okay, there's a lot more. Thank you. There's plenty more people out there and lots more people that potentially you could also date.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sat down and we was like, yo, like, do we really want to be committed to each other, or do we want to see who some of these other people are?
Okay.
Ah,
Like he
that's
sat
good.
down and he said, do we want to really be, and I let him know the boundaries. I think sometimes when you're in a relationship, you want to keep it real, and you also need to teach the person how they're going to treat you. And
Yes.
so my response was, if we're going to be together, we're going to be together. If we're going to be apart, so you can go test your other fishes, we're going to be apart. There's no me here and you there too.
And I
Help
was
the
like,
ladies. Help them.
I was like straight, But the fact that first of all, it was kind of early in the
Yeah.
relationship,
Mhm.
but I knew I needed to be sure that I was going to be with Herdyne, because I didn't want to be with Herdyne and then 6 months, a year later, and be like, yo, so check it, right? Like, there's this shorty I just met.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to know early on so that I don't waste anyone's time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did our little experiment. And again, if you say it's rough now, it was rough then. And I was like, hey, babe, what's up? You want to go get some ice cream? And it didn't take long to realize, but we were able to be brutally honest about
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Better to do that up front.
Mhm.
And if she wasn't cool with that, then we have nothing else to talk about.
So I would say the next thing, the first thing was keeping it real. The next thing in your relationship is putting up the boundaries, what you would tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And
Okay.
so putting them up early and saying, okay, this is what I would tolerate. Is it a green light or no?
Yeah, you got to
So-
know what your deal breakers are.
Yeah.
You definitely have to know what your deal breakers are. I do want to add a slight caveat, right? So there's a difference between expectations and standards,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes we have these standards,
My.
and these standards, it's good to have standards, but then the question is, where do they come from?
Mm-hmm.
And the expectations are one thing, but then sometimes men and women want these things that are totally, like, I hate to use the word unrealistic, but they just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Not that you can't have it, but one obvious thing is a lot of times we're not the kind of person that the person you want would be wanting to date.
Help.
Mhm.
Exactly. You
So-
want somebody that has a six pack, but you.
You're not even running on the
Come
treadmill.
on, son.
So, we got to check ourselves sometimes.
Mhm.
And that honesty goes all the way around, not just with the other person, but with yourselves.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, and we talked a lot.
We talk.
We did.
We communicate. That would be another tool. Communication, communication, communication. And honest communication that's not degrading the person, but
Mhm.
that honest and saying, this is how I truly feel about this.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked, we argued, we
Mhm.
fought,
Mhm.
all that comes with being in a relationship. If you're not disagreeing, then you don't need to be together. Just
That's
go be
good.
by yourself.
That's good.
You really, and I would say the next thing is realizing in a relationship, you really don't want someone that is just constantly agreeing with you 100%. Like, we have some things that we don't see eye to eye, but he's pulled me on the other side, and some things I've pulled him back on the other side. So we strengthen each other in this relationship. And I've always said, when I got married, I wanted to be someone that was going to help me, not make me, but help me become my best me, or help me meet my best me as years go by in our relationship.
That's good. You guys mentioned something about how when you went off to college, you realized, oh, there might be some other men that I'm checking, or there might be some other women that I want to, test the waters with. Would you suggest, like, let's say there's a couple that's high school sweethearts, or they met really, really young, and then maybe one went to college or one went to the military. Would you suggest being open, or what's your thoughts on that?
Well,
When you say open,
define open.
Oh, not like open relationships. Open meaning, let's say, or just being the honest part. Like, if you realize that this may not work, or there's other things that I may like. If someone's considering that, would you suggest them taking a break and figuring out what they want, or ignoring that feeling or that thought?
Yo, no, listen, first of all, I don't advise anybody to ever ignore any kind of feelings that they have.
Okay.
If you're in a relationship with someone and you're thinking something, whether it's, you want to be married or you want to be divorced, or you're worried about the next 6 months or the next 6 days, you should definitely be open about that and talk about that, because it's in keeping those secrets that we begin to drive wedges and create distance in relationships.
And sometimes we get into these relationships and we think that person is a mind reader of you.
Okay.
And they're not. And so if you don't open your mouth and have an honest conversation about what you're feeling, you're going to eventually hit dry bones, because he doesn't know or she doesn't know what's going on with you.
Right.
On the surface, you may be presenting that you're happy, and behind, emotionally, he or she is not meeting your love language.
No.
At all.
Yeah. I was going to talk, so let's talk about that, because you mentioned it, and that's one of my questions. Like, I recognize that in relationships, sometimes, and I'm at fault sometimes too, where we believe that, and it's not just intimate relationships, it could be friendships, co-workers. We think people know what we need, or what our expectations are. So we believe they are mind readers. Like, how important is it to be open, to be vulnerable, and communicate what you need?
Oh, that's the key. That's the key. Because whether you verbalize these needs and these expectations or not, you have them. Whether you have these needs, you have a need to be held, you have a need to be touched, or a need for somebody just to call you and be like, yo, how you doing?
Right.
But nobody's going to try and meet that need unless you express it. And then you end up salty and bitter because ain't nobody trying to meet those needs.
And Jay often talks about when you know, you must do better. So if the person in the relationship is telling you, hey, you're not meeting my needs, is that person actually listening to you? Are they actively trying to hear you out and act on it? Or are they playing a deaf ear to it? And so that's when you really need to know. And I think that's how I knew Jay was for me. He was actively listening to me. We were actively having a conversation, and we were actively moving in the right direction to make sure that our relationship remained strong and honest.
Gotcha. That's good. All right, viewers. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Hit the hearts, share the broadcast. If you have any questions, please post them, and we'll read it live. Okay. Let's see. What advice would you guys give to couples who have really close friends that are of the opposite sex?
Couples with really close friends
Of the opposite
sex. Well,
boundaries.
Well, yeah, I mean, boundaries are important. I guess that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But that question makes you wonder that one or the other, is there some jealousy going on or something?
Where is it stemming from?
Right, because we both have friends of the opposite sex. We have close friends, some mutual and some not. But we don't got any issues with that.
No.
Now, some couples may.
Yeah.
And that may be from, baggage from who knows when or where. If that is the case, you definitely want to talk about it. Because, again, by staying silent, you give the impression that you're okay. Oftentimes, your silence is seen as you co-signing. And if you're not co-signing, you better let it be known.
Yeah. I don't know. in the profession that we in, when we were in school and even going through our graduate program, we took classes together. There was probably 2 males in a class full of social work, and mainly the profession is women.
Yes.
And so here Jay and I are dating, but I was very comfortable in who I am. And I think, I don't know, I just felt comfortable in who I am and what I had to offer, that I wasn't threatened by another woman being in my presence. So I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah, well, no, I was just glad to be one of men surrounded by a bunch of women. So I got no problems with that.
Right. Somebody Anna added, what if you and that close friend of the opposite sex had history? Does that change the dynamics of the answer?
It could, but again, we'd have to know if we can handle that or not.
Mhm.
You know.
That's good.
Because at the end of the day, it's me and him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And if he feels like there's a boundaries that's being crossed, we would need to talk about it, and we would need to find a solution. It has nothing to do with the other person. So we need to communicate on what is good for him and what is bad for him, vice versa.
Yeah,
I
you know,
agree.
you hear people talking about, well, it's not that I don't trust you, I just don't trust the women, or
Mhm.
I just don't trust the men.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, there's men and women everywhere. You know,
Right.
so unless you're gonna live in a bubble,
Mhm.
you know, you gotta figure that out.
Right. Excuse me. I agree. I think the root of it is to make sure that both parties are confident in themselves. You know, we always hear about, oh, so and so is a home breaker or whatever. I don't necessarily believe that exists. I think it's like you said, it's a relationship is with 2 people. And so if the 2 individuals are mature enough to say, I can handle you being friends with someone of the opposite sex or someone that you may have been attracted to in the past, then that's a decision that you make together as a couple.
Yeah, and you definitely want to get that taken care of in the beginning,
Yes.
because for your whole life, whether you're as a married woman, as a married man, you're gonna have other people who checking you out. You're gonna be buying groceries, and a guy's gonna be like, "Hey, girl, you looking good," and you could be pregnant or with your 3 kids, and
That's so
homeboy
true.
is not gonna care. Similarly, women will check you out as a man, and you just gotta know, like, and you don't even need to be advertising. You could be trying to not advertise. So don't assume that just because you're married that people are gonna leave you alone. In a relationship, you gotta be okay with that.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
we had an
And I
audience
think
question.
when someone crosses the line, you need to
Okay.
don't keep it to yourself. You literally need to have that conversation with your spouse. Hey, someone really crossed the line with us. What are we gonna do as a couple to deal with the situation?
That's good. So always address things immediately.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gotcha. That's good. Good advice. We had another comment from a viewer. She said, "Do you believe that some people are meant to be single forever?"
I don't speak in terms of people are meant to be anything forever. I can understand that people choose to be single forever, or
And
they
if that is their choice,
Right.
I'm going to respect that choice.
or they make decisions that lead them to be single forever.
Okay.
To say that we're meant to be single forever, I don't know. I will also say I don't know that marriage is for everybody.
Facts.
Now, does that mean you're single? I don't know. Maybe you're just kind of like not the type of person to want to have to worry about somebody else forever.
Maybe you don't want the title of being married.
Yeah, and there's lots of things in between.
Okay. Any other questions out there right now from the live audience? You guys have any questions about singleness, dating, and marriage? One of the questions I got earlier from someone that couldn't be on but wanted to ask the question was, what advice would you give to couples who are trying to find time for more intimacy in their busy schedules?
If they're that busy, I would advise them to schedule it. And it sounds corny, but busy people understand schedules. If it's not on the schedule, it ain't gonna happen. And I'm talking about scheduling everything, whether you want to schedule a lunch or a dinner or time to make love, put it on the schedule, because it still shows that it's important. Don't just assume that it'll happen, because life will just come over and just take over all your time.
That's true. Okay.
And it really does sound, what do you mean like schedule it? But you know what, if your life, because we have some couples, one work in the morning, one work at night. How do you meet up? So you literally have to say, oh, we have this block of time to spend together. Let's put it in here so that we don't forget what we want to create in our relationship.
Right.
So make the time by scheduling it.
Right. And that goes to dating too, because in relationships are work. I don't know if a lot of people realize it. Like, it's a lot of work. So yeah, sometimes you do have to schedule, like literally, whether you want to Google invite them, whatever you need to do, because it's real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How do you deal with temptation in marriage? Was a question from Leanna.
I mean, I think when we say in marriage, for some people that in their mind it adds an extra layer, right? But if you can't deal with temptation outside of marriage, being married ain't gonna keep you committed.
That's good. Say that again. I just want to sew. That's good.
Right. If you can't deal with temptation as a single person, saying I do and putting a ring on it and being married it ain't gonna help you. It doesn't make it easier to be faithful as a married person. There is no automatic commitment, automatic faithfulness once you say I do.
Yeah, the ring doesn't put this magic wand and keeps
not
you
magical?
protected from no.
The ring don't make you invisible and immune to temptation.
No.
Somebody said it might get worse.
It enhances it.
Yeah.
In many cases.
Yeah.
You got to be able to handle that as a single person before you bring somebody else into that mess.
Good advice.
And so if the person cheated before while you were dating, just because you get married doesn't mean that they're going to stop. So there again, you're supposed to put up the boundaries of what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And so many times women, I'm speaking as a woman, we get so caught up in, but I want this fairy tale wedding that I'm willing to sacrifice you doing this during our dating season, and maybe after our marriage you'll stop. And that's when the disappointment hit, because even the ring couldn't stop it from happening.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Anna. Excuse me. Do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater?
No.
I don't either.
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I feel like people make mistakes. That's a fact. We are flawed. And then I remember there was this like discussion that they were having on one of my news feeds one time, and somebody was like, I could never like tolerate a cheater. Cheating is something I don't tolerate. And I responded and I said, what is cheating? And the person could not give a definition. The same person that says I don't tolerate cheating could not define to me what cheating was for that particular person. So what is cheating?
I mean, cheating is all about who the cheatee is, or who the
cheatee is.
Who's the cheatee? You know, because when we're talking about cheating, it's almost like a breach of contract, a breach of intimacy.
Yes.
And so, what is intimate to you? What was our agreement? You know, you texting some other girl that you cheating on me. You're like, what?
You liking somebody else's page, that's a female. I mean, so it all depends on who you're talking with. Like, you gotta define it. Like,
for some people, you could have sex with them, but as long as you don't love them, it's no problem. You didn't cheat. It was just sex. You know what I mean? You define it for yourself, and then let that other person know. Okay.
Exactly.
And come to some kind of agreement, because we can't have a conversation if we don't have the same definitions.
I agree. I think we just hear that word cheater and we allow other people's relationships to define it for us. So, you know, you spending time or having a deep conversation with someone that may be cheating for one couple because they're very intellectual, and so they feel like if you're connecting intellectually with someone of the opposite sex, it's intimate, and so that's cheating. For somebody else, it could be just holding hands or kissing or sleeping with the person. So you have to make your relationship work for you, and not let other people define, you know, what cheating is or what anything is in your relationship.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about whatever it is that cheating is about a betrayal. I mean, if you watch Game of Thrones together and then you watch it without me, you know, now you done messed up. You know
Facts.
what I mean? Like, you can't do that without me. But
That's so
you right, so you got to decide what it is for you.
Yeah, and you know when you wrong, because you know you can't go and tell her, dang, like I watched Game of Thrones with my homie. Like
You
it can't
won't
even be
tell
your
her. You
homie.
won't
Like
tell
you're
her.
not, it's gonna be messy. So
No,
that's
you're gonna front like you never watched it before, like it's the first time you're seeing that dragon.
right. You better act surprised.
That's it.
Right. D. Daniel Bynes says, I believe cheating is an illusion. This is my apostle, you guys. In reality, it's a calculated decision of betrayal. Okay.
There you go.
Yep.
So Shauna says, so I don't believe in a once always either. However, I do believe it puts a dent in the relationship because the trust has been broken already. It makes the work you put into the relationship much harder. Would you guys agree?
I will agree. I mean, imagine you felt safe, right? And someone has broken, you felt safe in your home, and someone has broken the window. And now you no longer feel safe. And now you have to take the pieces of glass and put them back together to feel whole and safe in this home. So that's how I think about it. I think once you break that glass, it's now picking up every piece and now being able to trust again. When your phone rings, because it leaves you with questioning now.
Yes.
Like, I'm free. I'm not questioning you, nothing. And now you're like, he got a text. He's 5 minutes late. Like, you start to think that you're crazy.
Yes.
Because you're questioning everything that he or she is telling you because of that betrayal that you felt in the past.
Yep.
Yes. We had a question about open marriages, but I want to stay there real quick because we may have some viewers that are in relationships, whether it's they're dating or they're married, and their partner has cheated, and they may be in that predicament where they are very self-conscious, and everything that their partner does, they now in their mind it's like they're questioning it. What would you say to that person? How would you uplift them, or what advice would you give to them?
You have to make a decision. You know, a lot of people do relationships based on how we feel, and feelings are very misleading at times. I often say to couples, infidelity does not have to be the end of a relationship. But if you're going to move beyond the infidelity, you have to make a decision. Now, this is a decision, by all accounts, is completely irrational. It's not rooted in what the facts of the case are. Despite this person being unfaithful, you're deciding to commit and to stay in this relationship. Everybody around you, your homegirls, your homeboys, your mama, your Facebook friends, they're going to tell you to cut him or her loose.
Right.
But you have to commit and then move beyond that. Now, don't commit until you're ready. Don't forgive if you're not ready.
That's good.
Because a lot of people,
They try to put a Band-Aid on it.
Right. They forgive much too early, much too soon, much too quick. And I tell couples, if you're not ready, take all the time you need. And when you step back into it, be open about that. But once you do say, okay, then you can't go back to what happened 2 years ago. And that's a problem a lot of people have, because we're at Disney World taking pictures with Mickey Mouse, and next thing you know, we're talking about something that happened 5 years ago. That just don't make no sense.
Yeah. Or somebody comments, it's like, oh, you with him, or so other people getting in your ear can really mess you up.
Oh yeah, always
and
do.
So it is always going back to, who are you in the relationship with? Are you in the relationship with the world, or are you in the relationship with this individual? Because at the end of the day, it's you and him.
Or her.
or her.
Not his mama,
Not
not her
his-
homegirl,
No.
not the sister cousin.
Mm-mm.
not
Grandma,
the neighbor.
auntie, you know. Right.
Exactly.
Good stuff. Shoshana, does that answer your question? Because I know I saw your second question that says, does it make the relationship pointless? So if you want more clarity on that, let us know. So there was a question earlier that was asked, why do you believe that we're seeing so many open relationships, open marriages? What are your thoughts on that?
I think for me, and thinking about it, people are afraid of that commitment and what it would look like. I mean, because you're now making a life commit. It's easier to say, let's just keep it open, versus making a conscious decision and a commitment to love someone, just that one person, the rest of your life.
Yeah, they could be afraid of the commitment. It could also be that all of the examples that they've seen have been bad examples, and maybe they're not afraid, but they don't want to be hurt. And
Yeah.
so they've got one foot in and one foot out, so that just in case something pops off, just in case this brother, this girl, this dude decides to act out of character, that's all right, because I'm still going to be protecting myself. I'm not going to fully give you all of me, because if I do that, then what do I have just in case? It's almost like an insurance policy.
Right. That's true. I think it also stems from what's the word? Oh my gosh, I just went blank. Give me 1 second. Oh my God. It all
Take your
stems
time, it's
from
your show.
right. Oh my gosh. Greed. There it is. See, it was a simple word. Oh my God. It all stems from greed. So again, I'm a huge fan of this. Have you guys ever seen Insecure? Do you guys watch that show?
I've seen it.
I
I've seen
haven't.
it.
It's my show. One shameless plug. Like Issa Rae, who is the producer of the show, like she had her own show that she had on YouTube. And
Right.
then Insecure got picked up by HBO. So it's like, you know, HBO about to pick up my show.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So
Claim
it.
Claim it.
in a show producer, like I feel like she's the genius or whatever. So she's not paying me for that plug, but I just want to put it out there.
Gotcha.
And on the show, they brought up, I think last week or the week before, they brought up like the topic of open marriages especially in the Black community, because a lot of people think it's a white people thing or Black people don't do that, especially Christians, believers. So it's like taboo. And I just feel like it's greed. Like you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to be able to be with him and him, or her and her. So not only do I think that it's a fear of commitment and getting hurt, I also think it's a selfish thing and a greed thing, personally.
Gotcha. Okay, I can see that.
I think that, you know, that may be some people's, but I do believe that it's also the fear is real, because hurt sucks.
It does.
It does, you know, and once you're with someone, you might be susceptible to pain, to hurt. Sometimes we hurt people not even without needing it, you know? And some people just don't want that, or they've seen no successful relationships in their past. So they're like, you know what? It's not even worth it. It's not real.
So this is my best shot. Let me get on it, you know?
Yeah.
And let me accept what is being given to me, because I don't know if I'm going to get another or better option.
And you know, Leanna says, you know, Insecure made everyone wonder if open marriages work or are a thing. And I can't tell you if it works for you. You know, that's for two individuals to decide for themselves. And I think you just have to know what your needs are, you know? So if you're someone that needs attention, or when you call, you need someone to answer, open marriages may not work for you, because they may need to be with their main person, or it just gets complicated. So you just have to know who you are and what your needs are to make a decision if marriage is for you, if living a life of singleness is for you, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
Good stuff, guys. Any other questions? So now I want to play this quick game. So I'm going to just share a couple words, and then you guys just tell me what comes to mind when you hear these words. Cool?
All right.
A couple of them we talked about already, but I'll throw them out again. So the word perfection in regards to singleness, dating, and marriage, right? So perfection.
Sin.
Doesn't exist.
Love language.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Look at that.
We really
Self-care.
believe in understanding your spouse love language.
Yeah, we're big on love languages.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to understand your spouse's love language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. We're actually doing a series on that on Tuesday nights. I don't know if you've caught it, but we talk about that all the time.
And where can they find that broadcast?
Dr. Jameson Mercier on Facebook. Look it up.
On Tuesdays, right?
Tuesdays at 8:30.
Awesome. Love language, yeah, it's very important. Self-care.
Necessary.
Vital.
Baby mamas, baby daddies.
Baby mamas, baby daddies.
You know, so
I have a
they're people too. I mean,
I cannot. They're people too.
because I think baby mama's baby daddy. So I'm taking it back and I'm trying to get one word, but I often think if you're a baby mama and a baby daddy, I want that relationship to work for for the child's sake. You two may not be together, but there needs to be a level of respect in raising that child.
Yes.
Like that safe community.
listen, I've had experiences with baby mamas. You know, I don't have any children other than the ones I have with Herdyne, but you know, I've dated before, and I've dated people where the child was not my biological child, and people with children who are not yours, women with kids who are not yours for the guys, and guys with kids who aren't for the woman they're with, they get a bad rep. You know, they have a hard time. People have all kinds of ideas about what that says about them, and then your mama doesn't think she's good enough because she got a baby, or he ain't good enough. He's just walking around making kids.
Yeah.
And that's why I said they're people too, you know. Everybody has their own story.
And everybody deserves love.
Right, and we can't just judge them on this one fact of their life.
Right. That's good. Okay. In-laws.
The best.
Small doses.
Whoa, no, that's like two total different spectrums.
Yeah, but I agree with her. But I do recognize that sometimes small doses is what you need.
Okay.
You can't have too much of a good thing. You can't have too much of a good thing. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
And the reason I'm able to say the best, because I don't really see her as an in-law. I really see her as my mom.
Gotcha.
And so that was a deal breaker for me. If mom did not accept me into the relationship, we would not be, because that's how important family is for me. My heart and heart, I'm a family girl.
Wasn't a deal breaker for me, but
it was a deal breaker for me.
So
that was open communications that we needed to have.
Gotcha.
So that's how it is. So it was very important to me that I was accepted.
Gotcha.
Because I just didn't think, and sometimes when we get in relationships, we think about just now you and him, but there's kids, and imagine you're not in love with his family, and now this child is in this toxic environment.
Yes.
Just no good. So that was like a deal breaker. If like deal breaker, we were breaking up if mama did not approve. Like that's how serious it was for me.
For you. That's good. Okay. Multiple sex partners.
No.
Like at one time?
I don't care. Never ever that. Never.
No, I'm confused.
I don't care. That's just dangerous.
Can you break it down? What?
Well, at one time, not at one time. Whatever comes to your mind. Is it no go?
Well, that was what came to my mind.
Test.
Not a good idea.
Test. If I hear it in just one word, I would say test it. Just get tested.
Good answer.
Yes.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Last one, relationship goals.
You got to know what those goals are. You know, don't just let it be a hashtag. You got to have those goals together.
Gotcha. Right. Thank you guys for playing. That was good.
Fun for us too.
It was hard trying to keep it to one word.
You did good. Leanna wants to talk about cohabitation. So, what should single people and believers, people that are in relationships, know about taking that step?
Cohabitation. That is a slippery slope, man.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. If cohabitating makes it less likely that you'll be married, for the simple fact that you're going to see all the flaws, and when you're not married, you're free to walk away from those flaws. You're not committed.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so if you're cohabitating as a test run, just understand now you're being privy to information that perhaps you shouldn't be, or information that you should only have after you've committed.
Okay. A lot of people feel like you know, they have to test the water. So you believe that's not true?
Well, I don't.
Test
I
the waters with communication.
That's what I was gonna say. There are many ways. There are many ways to test the water.
You can test the water with communication. Test the water holding hands.
There are many, and I mean, there are many things you can do to test the relationship. As a matter of fact, I don't even advise that you set up these strategic tests. I just think you just need to live, because life will let you know some things. Life will put you in some situations where, you know, you turn around and you look at homegirl and you're like, whoa, who are you? Okay, so you don't need to be living with a person to know if you can marry them or not. Just go out to dinner. You know, is he cheap? Or is she, you know, checking out the waiter? Like, that stuff you can know without signing a lease together.
Yes, that's true.
And the other thing I would say, Maya Angelou always said this, and it's this famous quote: "Show people who when people show you who they are, believe them." And so many times, women, I'm going to speak for women, we get in these relationships and we're like, "Well, I'll change that about them," and you cannot change a person. They're showing you who they are. Do you want it or not?
And also, one thing that I was always told growing up is, like, you know, ask the person's friends who they are. You know, like, if you really want to get to know who they are, ask their friends, the people who've been around them. And that's another way to kind of gauge who they are if you feel like, oh, they can fake it until marriage, whatever the case is.
Yeah, because cohabitation, essentially, I mean, we're talking about playing house, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to live a life that, again, you've not committed to. And that never works. You got to be committed in order for marriage to work. There's no such thing as a test run, essentially. You know, you just take the plunge and you hold on tight.
That's good. Good stuff. Pastor Velda, welcome. Welcome, everybody who's joined on. Thank you guys for tuning in to Season 2, Episode 1. It's our premiere of our second season of Ask to Sharp Thursdays. Right now, we have the Merciers on. They are giving us wisdom about singleness, dating, and marriage. I have one last question from a viewer, and then if you guys have any information or any other advice that you want to share in regards to all three stages of life, I'll give the floor to you. This person says, my parents have been married for over 25 years. It seems like that type of love doesn't exist anymore. Did that type of love dissolve? Should I have hope? Question mark.
You should always have hope. And you really can't dictate your parents' relationship as it's going to be yours.
Yeah. You know, that's one. We talk about people looking at other people's relationships and talking about relationship goals. It's just as bad if you try to be like your mom and your dad, thinking you're going to have what they have.
Yeah.
You know, because
you can take the nuggets from them, the good stuff, but you can't base their relationship on you. Times have changed. different, I don't know if I would say different temptation. They're just packaged
No,
differently.
Yeah, but even though times have changed, right?
Mhm.
You got to understand that your parents' relationship, that's their relationship. It's their 25 years. It's their experience. It's
Right.
loaded with happiness and it's loaded with hurt.
And their own bumps in the road.
Right. The thing about young people looking at their parents' marriage, they don't realize that there's a lot that they were shielded from, that they were protected from. All they know is that their parents have been together and they feel safe, and this
That's
is a
true.
good example. You may not know that there was some infidelity.
That's
Maybe
true.
they just didn't tell you because they was trying to protect you. You may not know that that day that mama went to go visit grandma for 3 weeks, that was because maybe she didn't have no grandma. She went somewhere else. You don't know.
That's
And
really
so
good.
you gotta take it for what it is, but understand that your relationship has to be yours. Yeah, there's some nuggets and there's some things you can get from them, but you can get that from anybody.
Yeah. And I think so many times we see 50 years, 60 years, 15 years, 5 years, and they could have been 5, 15, 50 years of misery. So you want to look at not the years, but the quality of the relationship.
Yeah. Some people get married and now they just start doing time, right? Because within the church, for religious folk, they get married and they don't divorce. Though they may be hating each other's guts, but they will show up together, or they will meet around the corner and walk in together. But when they're home,
separate rooms,
they're sleeping in separate bedrooms, maybe going on separate dates. You do not know. And it ain't for you to know because it's none of your business. Just focus on what you got going on in your house or with your stuff.
So the years are great, but the quality of the relationship is what I think we need to look at.
I don't even know if we can say the years are great because
I'm just saying you can't knock the years. They have the years, but it's really the quality.
I don't know. I will take 1 or 2 good years over 50 bad years.
Yeah, I will agree.
That's true.
I will agree. I can agree on that.
Right. So take home message, y'all. These numbers don't mean nothing.
Numbers don't mean squat. I mean,
unfortunately, y'all, we just crushed like 30 people's dreams right there. Man. Wow. Ooh, I had this last question. I can't believe I missed it. So this was a question from one of my coworkers. I don't know if this is true. He probably was trying to be funny. He said, I fell in love with a stripper, and now all my boys are clowning me. Does the profession of your lady really matter if you love her? Shout out. That's a guy question, I guess.
Well,
do you love her?
Oh.
At the end of the day, if you love her,
it don't
what
matter.
do you care about whatever anybody else thinks?
Yeah.
Do you love her?
Hey.
Can you handle?
Right.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to answer that for yourself. Do you love her? And can you handle the talk? It's not for us to answer, but you.
Yeah, got nothing to say.
There it is. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much again for joining us. This was amazing.
No, this was fun. Thank you for the invitation.
No problem. Any parting words you have for the viewers?
Listen, relationships take work, obviously. And being married
takes work.
Is the hardest thing you think you want to do. Okay? It's the hardest thing you think you want to do. And in many cases, it is perhaps the most irrational decision you will make in your life. Because sometimes we get married when we feel we shouldn't. It's a risk. Some will say calculated risk. Some will say, no, I need to know. I know this, I know that. No, there are no guarantees. You don't know nothing. Because we could wake up tomorrow morning and be like, yo, this ain't working for me no more. And that's just the reality of the situation. But that's what a marriage is. It's deciding to do this, to commit to this person, not knowing what you're going to get back in return.
And I would say this with marriage. Make marriage your dreams. not everybody else's. I know you stroll social media, you stroll Facebook, but what does marriage mean for the both of you? If you're single, what does singleness mean for you? Is that a time for you to travel? Is that a time for you to do more reading? Is that a time for you to really tune in? What does that mean for you? What does dating mean? What do you want to get out your relationship in dating? What questions do you want answers? What action? Okay, you ask the question, but look for the action. I will always say that. Your action is going to tell you what they're really saying, or that person's action towards something is going to tell you what they're really saying.
Yeah. Stay in your lane, folks. Stay in your lane.
That's good.
That's it.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks again. I will post where they can find you guys on social media, where they can tap into that Tuesday broadcast. I've joined a couple times, and it is some good information for anybody, whether you're single, dating, or married. And so,
Appreciate
definitely
it.
want to shout it out. Are you taking new clients?
I am always taking new clients.
And the name of your business again?
We are Mercier Wellness and Consulting. If you just search Jameson Mercier in Google, the Haitian therapist, Dr. Jameson Mercier, it's out there. It's all out there. You'll find me.
Hey, awesome. Well, thanks again, guys, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Congrats
You do the
again on your
same.
premiere.
Season 2.
Yeah. See ya.
All right.
All right, guys, we have ended season 2, episode 1. We in here. Y'all hit those hearts. We're gonna end. This was amazing. Thank you to everyone. Like, shout out to everyone who posted the flyer this week when I sent out a clarion call and you guys responded. I appreciate it. To all the people that have viewed, liked, shared, whatever, like, I appreciate you guys so much. We're only going to do bigger and better things this season. Ask to Shara Thursdays. I'm Shara. We lit. DJ Sid's going to take us out. Y'all have a good night. Hey, rock with me. This that hurt Mary J. They make good music. If you have a business, I forgot to shout you guys out. Please post your business in the comment section. So if you have any business, if you're a brand, post it. We want to connect and want to help you build. All right, go ahead, DJ. You good?
I'm not a player, I was crushing. But you still a hater, elevator to the top high. See you later, I'm gone. Penthouse suite, penthouse freaks, in-house beach, fresh house seats, 10 beats, $10 lease, with an option to buy, cop in the fly, with bands to win or not. We're up in the sky, off in the line, with my Twincito, up in the Benzito, with my Eagles and Queens, the Ego. We go back like PAs and wear BJs. Now we reach the PJs, running days and 3 days. Who wanna ride? It won't cost you $1 with a sword for hard. Of course, you're still gonna hide.
let you in. Now would you be silly or play a role? Tell all the boys or keep it low. If I say no, will you turn away or pull me off? Or will you say no? Dust yourself off and try it again. You can dust it off and try it again. Try it again. But first you don't succeed. You can dust it off and try it again. Dust yourself off and try it again. Try it
It's the first time together and I'm feeling kinda horny. Conventional methods of making love kinda phony. I wanna knock your block off, get my rocks off, blow your socks off, make sure your G-spots
Pretty big daddy and scream your name. Matter of fact, I can't wait for your candy rain.
So what you saying? I think my swerve on, bring it live, make it last, but I'm a damn the kitty cat style.
Daddy, slow down your flow. Put it on me like a G, baby, nice and slow. I need a rough neck, made a man dingo and a step who ain't afraid to put my hands banging for your daddy.
No doubt, I'm the player that you're talking about.
Do you really think that you can work it
I
out?
guarantee you, shorty, it's real. Baby, stick it out. Here comes the man that's still.
Doing it and doing it and doing it loud. Doing it and doing it and doing it loud. Doing it and doing it and doing it loud.
My mama said crazy, she was raised down the street like
be too lit, be full lit. Pick me up 4-6. We ain't trippin' 'cause we yeah, we all with the yeah, we all with the too lit, be full lit. We ain't trippin' 'cause we all here. Yeah, that's what I like. I ain't got no time, I can't decide. Girls, I can't decide. We'll decide why. No, it ain't no telling what we might do. Pushing in the bed with a tight. We forgot me, so she got my eyes. Oh yeah, that's my girl and that's our wife. Lit, we full lit. Pick me up, 4-6. Butter, with another. We ain't tripping 'cause we all here. Yeah, we all with the. Yeah, we all with the. Full lit, we full lit. We ain't tripping 'cause we all here. Yeah, all with it. All with it. Quit it in there. All with it.
I said you don't do that thing, boy, please believe. It's naturally and hard for you niggas to breathe. One thing about it, coach keeps some up the sleeve. Do the skip attack the boards while I'm flowing with three. Every snatch what I got, I stuff it with G's. Fuck a chain in the whip, then I fuck up my steeds. I like to ride around in my hoop and blowing on trees. With 2 heels in my lap, up at 400 degrees. Man, fuck you right now. Nah, nigga, that's my dog. Say that shit again, I whack all y'all.
West side, what's up? push me to the edge. On the refrigerator, push me to the edge. I see your girl post a bill, so I hit her in the deal. Alright, yeah, I see him. Yeah, this your man, I hate to be him. Goes down in the deal, it 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 goes down. That tell me that cool. Oh, they tell me that this is cool. Well, my nigga poppin'. My nigga been called buddy. I got some nails in the deal. They're breaking news if they see them. Nah, we don't do no talk. We see something too often. I see your girl post a video, so I hit her in the deal. Alright, yeah, I see him. Yeah, this shit, man, I hate the deal. It goes down in the deal. It goes down in the deal. It goes down in the deal. It goes down. Bedtime, I can kill the same bedtime. We gon' still sing bedtime. I say, I'm the slumber. I said, free for real. You my town, right? Throw it out of Jesus, get the wheel. I can't keep the truth inside of me. I gotta swim. Some gon' trust the gadget, cause the world's a dollar bill. All bad. We gon' tip back down to 7 bill. Y'all play. Sorry, I can't understand the words y'all say. Most rules never heard small plays. I just want some makers. I come from a small room.
I remember syrup sandwiches and crumb allowances. But listen, none of with some counterfeits. But now I'm counting this. I was young with my accountant lips and think I'm down with this. You say with my movie, text and you say for the analyst. Girl, I can buy the rusty girl with my taste stuff. I know that it's good when you say that on my taste blood. I can't wait to baby once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down and play it just AM to the DM to the AM phone. Eat up your DM, you just have to hate them. If I quit your bill, I still buy Mercedes phone. If I quit this season, I still keep the greatest phone. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in his spiral. Soprano say he like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Gotta be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble.
Percocet, Molly Percocet, Percocet, represent, gotta represent. Jason, yo, Jason, mask off, mask off, mask off, mask off. Percocet, Molly Percocet, Jason, yo, Jason. 2 cups, toast out with the game. From full stops to a whole other man. All of them cool, compromise, have a $1 million drug house, looking like a roof. Graduate, I was on big money, I get better move. Ask about it, all over the move. Big thing,
This strip club at what's up?
Your money.
yeah. Me and my will put on AOD back. Them AMG 63s. I tell our mama, rake it up, break it down, bag it up, clear up, bag it up, rake it up, bag it up. I tell my mama, rake it up, break it down, bag it up, rake it up. I made love to a stripper. First I had to tip her. 20,000 once. She said, I'm in. I said, I'm in. I already know it. No, I come with bad weather. They say I'm a storm. VDS is in my chum. That's a Rockefeller chain. I was sending bricks to Harlem back when Jay was still with Dame. I'm for lead child. I got a tick on. Okay. Got a stripper with me. She picked up the chick home. She gon' put it up. She don't even make up. She gon' rate up to the pay up. She said, pay for the pay. Wait for the and God give me. Cause I pray for the Yeah, jumping, them boys up to something. They just spent like 2 or 3 weeks out the country. Them boys up to something, they just not just love it. You don't have the car, I hit my dance like Usher. Ooh. I just found my tempo like a DJ Buster. Woo. I hit that to nobody with my left hand on like woo. Lost the insulin for all my babies that are this. Chicken finger, fresh I put them, they don't want to dance. Jumping, them boys up to something.